magic!
Whoa! Oh my gosh. Happy 2021, everybody, and welcome to City Fact Records. Today, we have a brand new episode of Coffee with the Facts.
With a very special new artist, Scott McCue.
But before we bring Scott out for his interview and performance, we've got some exciting City Fact Records updates.
That's right. This month, February 2021, we'll be releasing the City Fact Record VIP Club. The VIP Club will come with a free sticker for everyone who signs up.
Free sticker.
And also keep watch, new artists and new content.
So please help us welcome our good friend and City Fact Records artist, Scott McCue.
With his brand new single, This Magic, now on Bandcamp at the link below. Scott?
Scott.
Oh, guys, he's in the kitchen.
Oh, okay. Let's head over there. All right.
City is so with the steps we took under a sometimes beat down sun. Everything's going swimmingly. I don't wanna come back to reality. It's just this magic now. Movements far, even touch the ground. This magic now. I feel it in me even when you're not around. Laying there tired on a rented bed. Wanted that grid for hours like days. Never felt closer than you do today. I don't wanna come back to reality. It's just this magic now. Movements far, even touch the ground. This magic hour. Feel it in me even when you're not around. Burrow to burrow, we are exhausted thoroughly. Stages and poets, voodoo and scribes, crowded club where a hero collides. Yoke in the fur, bumping off the walls. Hold on tight, 'cause the music calls its magic now. Feel our movements far, even touch the ground. This magic hour. Feel it
So after that amazing performance, we're here with Scott McCue. Scott, thanks for coming on and joining us.
Hi. Happy to be here.
So we've got some questions for you. We just want to know more about you, like musically, and
Sure.
like how you started and what you did. So Jacob, you wanna kick us off?
Yeah, so to break the ice here, we've got a brand new segment called This Band or That Band.
Oh, crap.
And we've perfectly curated this to tell exactly how good your musical taste is. So we got 4 questions here. If you're ready, we'll get rolling.
And remember, this is going to be an exact science for whether your music taste is good or not.
Does this help determine whether I stay a City Fact artist?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fair
Yeah,
enough.
it's part
Fair
of
enough.
our
Sweet.
onboarding
No pressure whatsoever then. Sven,
No,
Okay.
not at all.
let's shoot.
Okay, Beatles or Arcade Fire?
Beatles.
Okay. Soundgarden or Billie Eilish?
Ooh. Definitely Soundgarden.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
This is they get increasingly difficult.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. Have you heard of Pink Floyd?
Of course.
Okay. So
Who hasn't heard of Pink Floyd?
all right, this one's tough though.
All right, Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd or Ed Sheeran?
Pink Floyd.
Okay. All right.
I feel like there's no trick to this game.
Okay. Last one. Rage Against the Machine or Nickelback?
Rage Against the Machine, all day, every day.
So let's calculate. Let's calculate. the
Okay.
score
Yeah.
real
Let's
quick.
get the score going.
So I'm gonna say Scott.
I think you got everyone wrong.
Scott, you're 0 for 4.
The Beatles over Arcade Fire.
Come
That's
on, man.
ridiculous.
I'm starting to think I might not be the correct fit for this record label.
Viewers at home, please answer in the comments.
Please do. Tell me how wrong I am. It's gonna be fantastic.
So Scott, tell us a little bit about how you how you started with music, like kind of like, you know, when did you start playing guitar and like what have you played in previous?
I mean,
like,
I've been a singer forever. I grew up. My parents were both musicians. My parents are both singers. So like my first musical performance, I was 5 years old. I was singing with my dad. But I started, the guitar was sort of a stop and start sort of thing.
Okay.
I started taking guitar lessons when I was like 11 or 12, and I hated it because it was lessons, and I was going and learning scales, and I was like, I just want to play my favorite artist.
Right.
And I after a few months and like giving my mom a real ration of crap every single time I had to practice, I quit, and she took the guitar back to the store and
Oh my gosh.
canceled the lessons. And I was like, all right, fine. And then when I was 15, she asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I was like, I want a guitar. And she was like, we did this already. And I was like, no, no lessons. Yes, like no lessons. Just I want a guitar. I will teach myself how to play. And so I started playing when I was 15, and for the first 3 or 4 years, I was really terrible because I was teaching myself. And then I found some friends in college who like showed me how the chords are actually supposed to sound. And then I started writing rudimentary, kind of really crappy, terrible, love songs, trying to get girls because it was college.
Dude, that is the key, man.
It is the key. It is the key. And it worked in varying degrees at times.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, also like just teaching myself how to play my favorite songs, and so it was a lot of that. And then eventually did in and out of bands through my 20s and 30s, and now into my 40s.
What was that number again? No,
it's fine. I'm on 41. But yeah, so like it's just sort of music has been sort of a through line in my life, and I can't picture my life without it. Like the idea of a world without some sort of music is sort of my own personal hell.
Were you, have you ever recorded one of your original songs before and released it in any way before this?
I recorded, yes.
Okay.
Released, no.
Okay.
The band I was in the middle 2000s, we recorded a whole bunch of songs.
Okay.
And then before we got finished with the record, the band sort of imploded on itself, and so the songs never got finished, and some of the songs never got mixed, and like one of the guys eventually went back and mixed some of them, but they're not finished, and so I'm probably going to be re-recording some of those at some other point. But this is going to be my first actual like release to the world that's going to be seen by hopefully more than just people I know. So
So tell us about the song, this Magic. Like what's it about? Like it definitely sounds like a very story driven song. So
it's about a magical weekend. It's about a trip that I took with my wife before we were married. We went to New York City, and we went on a 4-day like concert and live performance binge. We saw a whole bunch of people. Like I think we saw 5 concerts and 2 festivals in 4 days.
Oh my gosh!
It was bonkers. So, and then just sort of like the realization of like, this is the best it's gonna get. Like this is like this person and this experience is what I want out of life. So it's sort of it's cheesy, but it's sort of a love song to that weekend with my wife. So and she's heard the recording of it and she really likes it.
Did you write it like pretty close to that weekend, or was it something you kind of were looking back on?
No, it was something I was looking back on. I had a couple of lines from it, and Pat can tell you, he's seen my songwriting notebook. It's a lot of like snippets of audio stuff,
but massive,
like snippets of stuff, and like a verse and a chorus, and then just like sort of dripping off into nowhere. And this one was sort of like that, and I went back to it and I was like, I got a guitar hook for it, and and then just sort of the song just flowed out of me. I wrote it. The weekend was almost 2 years ago, and this song was written 6 months ago. So
wow, that's awesome. So you had your band in the early 2000s. You mentioned. Was that the last band you had before? I guess you're kind of in a new iteration of a band that's writing and recording music right now, right?
No, there's been several. The one that we wrote and recorded, that was like second to last. I was in a band with some guys that I went to high school with. I sort of joined halfway like into their run, like they'd been around for a few years, and I sort of just Frankensteined myself in.
Sure.
And that was a lot of fun. I developed and wrote a couple songs while I was with them, but I wasn't the primary songwriter or the primary vocalist, so I was just sort of... It was a good time, though, because it was like a bunch of guys that I've known forever. So, but yeah, it's I just love music. I love playing out.
Yeah. Have you been doing original stuff in all these bands you've been a part of, or did you ever do the cover bar band kind of gig?
It's always been sort of a... not quite even mix. I've never been in a band where we had enough songs that we could play a full 3 set night.
Yeah.
So it's always been a mix of covers and originals. So it's I would love to eventually get to a point where I can just play my own songs, but I would have to finish and write a bunch more.
Sure.
So so aside from this song, Scott, I mean, This Magic is awesome. It's everywhere on Bandcamp, and we're gonna have it up everywhere. So be sure to check it out.
Please do.
But so what else do you have in the works? Do you have some more tunes that you're hoping to get kind of pumped out along with this one?
I'm thinking about putting out a several track EP at this point.
Okay.
I've got a few songs that I've worked out that I have pretty much done, and I'm kind of hoping to add the sort of Papa Scott and the Bandits twist to it.
Sure.
Like there's some of them that are several years old that like I want to see what the entire band can get together and do in the studio, because like me with acoustic guitar, which you just saw, is one thing. What you're going to hear, what you've heard from the studio version, is obviously a much more fleshed out, much more, even though this was live, it feels like the studio track is very alive, and that's what I want to hear out of all the stuff. So yeah, I have 3 or 4 more that I want to probably put out and hopefully get it out in EP form in the next couple months.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Did you ever try to do the acoustic singer-songwriter thing? Has it always been a full band thing for you?
I honestly, like, aside from like a couple of coffee shop gigs I did in college, I haven't really ever done this sort of solo singer-songwriter thing. I don't know whether it's just a nerves thing, but I always feel better when I have a band on stage to back me up.
Sure.
But, you know, who knows? Who knows what the future may hold?
You've got a really nice and I think kind of unique voice, but a couple names that came to mind hearing your voice were like Chris Cornell and Eddie Vedder, like a little sprinkle of those guys in there. But do you have anybody you consider your vocal influences?
I mean, I like the Chris Cornell, Eddie Vedder thing. You know, like having that sort of grunge cred is kind of nice. I don't really see myself as being like them, but sure. I've definitely heard many times that I sound like them, which I don't necessarily hear. I definitely have been told that my voice sounds very like early Bare Naked Ladies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Both Ed Robertson and Stephen Page from Bare Naked Ladies. But also, I mean, I love John Mayer. I love Counting Crows. Adam Duritz is actually mentioned. He's the hero that's mentioned in This Magic.
That's awesome.
Because I did run into him in the club at the festival he was producing. So, but yeah, I mean, there's way too many sort of influences to my voice than I can possibly mention.
Fair. When you first kind of got the guitar at 15, was it always a vocal and guitar thing for you? Were you trying to become like a lead like Shredder, or were you always into kind of writing and singing along with it? It's
always sort of been a rhythm thing for me.
Okay.
I would love to play, you know, lead guitar like the legends out there, but it's not something that I've ever really focused on or been frankly that good at. So I'm happy to let somebody else take the lead while I just play the song and sing along.
You know, though, I think that's like one of like the most underrated like band positions. Like a lead player or like any kind of other instrumentation, like, you know, in the band is just really nothing without like a really solid rhythm player that's keeping it interesting, right? Because you're not just playing the chords. I mean, especially in that acoustic performance we watched, like you really are like keeping that rhythmic pace of the tune. So it's just a cool style to kind of see.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to underrate myself as the rhythm or the lead singer, but like no, definitely. I think some of my favorite musicians are the ones that sort of hold down that middle section, like because you have the low end with the bass, you have the drums that are keeping the beat, you have you know whatever the lead instrument's going to be, but you have to have that middle part that sort of like rounds out everything.
Yeah, we can call it the bass and then the twinkly nonsense.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But awesome. Well, Scott, thank you so much for playing on the show. We had a blast.
Thanks for having me.
Be sure to check out Papa Scott and the Bandits, This Magic, out everywhere. We've got a link down below in the description. And remember to dream big,
take action,
and support local music.